Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Abnijil Absam, and today I will give you a presentation about the electricity and how it's affecting our life. In fact, nowadays our life is running with electricity, so we cannot live with electricity. We can see our transportation, our life, our health, hospitals running with electricity. So losing electricity is something very critical nowadays, and it is one of our basic life operations. So today we'll talk about the Indian blackout that happens in 2012, and we'll see what's the causes, what's the events, what's the sequence of events. Okay. Our objectives for today, we'll talk about the beginning, we'll give an introduction, then background, then we'll talk about the sequence of events that affect the blackout, the prior disaster proofing, then we'll talk about the reaction, investigation, and we will conclude it in the end. Okay, in the beginning, where does it happen? So actually, it happens in India, the location of India, you can see it's in the southern of the Asia continent. What happened in India? In fact, there was a sudden blackout in the northern and eastern of India. That happened in the end of July 2012. Actually, that affected almost 640 million of Indians. We can see this is the whole India. You can see the affected area is the northern side and the eastern side of India. That happened in July 30. This is the first. This is the starting of the blackout, and it lasts until July 31st. But they recover part of it, and the 31st of July. So the number of affected people has become almost 300 million at that time. So this is just introduction and background. Actually, this issue happened also in 2001, also in India, but it's repeated again, the same issue in 2012. Now my colleague Ammar will continue the sequence of events.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to talk about the sequence. At 30 July in India at 21 UTC, circuit breaker of 400 kilovolt line tripped, and that caused the beginning of the blackout. The power failure cascaded through the Indian grid, and an estimated shortage of 32 gigawatts. On the day of the collapse, the power minister said that the cause of the power failure was unknown. He speculated that some state had attempted to draw more power than supposed to do for the higher consumption in the summer's time. Breakdown that exposed another senior in the grid system of India suggested that the breakdown has exposed major technical faults in Indian grid system. The case caused by the breakdown. More than 300 million people, about 25% of Indian population, were without power. Railways and some airports stopped functioning, and passenger trains were shut down, and traffic signals were non-operational. At the end of July 30, the 80% of the power have been recovered, and the next day, July 31, another relay failed near the Taj Mahal. Over 600 million people, nearly half India's population, were without power. So then, in 31 July, power failed, affected more people, and 200 miners trapped underground due to the lifts non-operational. Regions affected by the blackout. States in the northern grid, and states in the eastern grid, and states in the northeast grid. Here are the grids of India, map of the grids. Here are the northern region, eastern region, and southern region, and western region. So mostly the blackout happened at the northern region. And now my colleague will continue.
Hi, good evening. This is Ahmed Hassan. I will continue the, period disaster proving. Before the Great Collapse, the private sector spent 29 billion to build their own independent power station in order to provide reliable power to their factories. The 5 biggest consumers of electricity in India have private of-grid supplies. Indian companies have 35 gigawatt of private of-grid generation capacity and plan to add another 33 gigawatt to their off-grid capacity. Regarding to the reactions, on the day of the collapse, Power Minister of India ordered a 3-member panel to determine the reason for the failure and report on it in 15 days. In response to criticism, he observed that India was not alone in suffering major power outages as blackout had also occurred in the United States and Brazil within the previous few years. The Washington Post described the failure as adding urgency to Indian Prime Minister Dr. Singh's plan for 400 billion overhaul of India's power grid. His plan calls for further 76 gigawatt of generation by 27, produced in part by nuclear power. On August 1st, 2012, newly appointed Power Minister stated, first thing is to stabilize the grid, and it has to sustain, for what we will work out a proper strategy. And now my friend will continue.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening. So my part will be the investigation of the case. So there were 3 members of the investigation committee. First one is Shivas Stava, Vilutham, and Bakashi. They met in mid of August in 2012, and they conclude that they have 4 reasons for the blackout in India. So the first one was the weak inter-regional power transmission. The second one was the high loading on the 400 kilovolt, which lead to disconnect the link. The fourth was inadequate response by the state load dispatcher center to the regional load dispatch center. And the last one was the loss of the 400 kilovolt. And the committee also offered a recommendation to prevent that case of happening again. And the summary is that blackouts affected most of the northern and eastern of India, and over 400 million people was briefly largest power outage in the history by number of people that affected in that. Thank you.